like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alright y'all, I'm back with another flashback. This video features Tron, aka Logan, aka Whom Canoe. Guys, I'm still working on getting all of my content re-uploaded back onto YouTube, adding my commentary so that I can meet the YouTube guidelines. This is why you guys will be seeing so many flashbacks from my channel. However, I can assure you I'm staying up to date on all things happening within carbonation. Y'all, please drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. All right, y'all, let's get into this video.
Peace, y'all. Wait for some people to get in the room real quick. Nails underscore by Yane. What's good? Immortal dot Spark. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to talk to y'all about something that's very important on your journey. Peace, everyone. Bonita, Chanel, Langdon, Immortal dot Jacob. What's good? What's good? Okay, so peace to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Rahubet to all the Zamals, Zamal Tap. What's the deal? Hey, peace. What's good? Hey, man, not much. Just chilling. How y'all doing, though? How y'all doing? People, shout out, people in the room. So listen, I wanted to talk about something that's very important. I want to let people get in the room real quick. Peace, y'all. Trish, what's good, Trish? Not much, man. I'm just chilling. I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing my work. And, every single day, I'm progressing. I'm actively, working. That's why I don't really do, too many lives and such like that. Because I'm really just, in my life, man. I'm really in my life, practicing and putting forth the work and the knowledge. But, more so than anything else, I wanted to bring this to the awareness of people so that maybe I can spark and help someone else. I am a Nuwapian, I am a Sabian, so, underneath the teachings of Baba Yanun and the Nuwapian nation, Sabian nation, we have a certain way that we move when it comes to forgiveness. And that is called A'ashuk. A'ashuk is divine love. And divine love operates at a frequency. The frequency is connected to a color. And the master teacher himself talks about how colors affect mood. So the color of love in this reality, in this realm, is green. That's why when you step into nature, you automatically feel a release. Because what green does to the state of mind is it helps with stress. It helps with distorted thoughts. That's what green does. Green helps you release. So when you step out into nature, when you see the color green, it helps release a certain chemical in your brain that relaxes you, and it makes you.
All right, y'all, going ahead and drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Thank you guys in advance.
More calm. Green and brown does this. So that's why nature is so tranquil and so peaceful, But the reason I'm bringing this up in this moment is because I want y'all to understand the importance of operating underneath the love frequency, the divine love, which we would call A'ashuk. A'ashuk is a frequency that is very important because you don't want to get caught at the end of your life cycle or existence in the wrong frequency, because it's a lot like clockwork. When people die or transcend from this physical meat suit, which is just a bacteria that encases the soul, and your soul is what animates the body. When you leave this realm and you die and you no longer exist, right? Or you do exist, but as they would call it, you die and you're no longer in this physical body. What happens is a couple of things. As I just explained, it's a lot like clockwork. So whatever frequency of thought that you are vibrating on when you die or when you transcend, that affects the outcome of where you leave, or where you go to in your next life. A lot of souls reincarnate back to this earth because they did not complete the mission, or they did not handle certain things that they needed to handle in order for their soul to ascend. You see, you have to be operating underneath a certain frequency of thought. You have to have a certain kind of knowledge. You feel me? Wu Sabat. So you have to have this knowledge, but not only do you have to have this knowledge, you have to understand the knowledge and you have to apply it to your life, because that's the only way that you are going to safely exit this reality. You know, just like when you jump off a plane, you have to have your parachute attached to your back. Otherwise, you're gonna hit the ground smack. You feel me? That's what it is. When you hop out of plane and you're doing skydiving, you have to make sure that you have a parachute attached to your back. Otherwise, you're gonna hit the ground splat, and you ain't gonna see nothing. You're gonna be gone. You feel me? So it's just like that. It's very important. And we don't have, or we're not connected, I should say, to our origins and our culture of like who we were prior to, you know, the European influences that we have today. A lot of people don't realize that we had a whole culture prior to European influence, or any influence of another race, of that matter. But we don't connect ourselves to it because we haven't been introduced to it. You know, I've been, granted the anointed the ability to be, introduced to my culture, our culture. True.
Now, I wonder what he's talking about when he says he's been introduced to his culture. Is he talking about when he joined Melanation right before they became Carbonation? Or is he talking about after leaving Carbonation and joining the Nuwapians? I'm wondering, he's following Dr. Malachi Z. York's teachings now, right?
Introduced to my culture, our culture, truly. And you can see it as a reflection on my page, from some of the things I post, from some of the videos that I break down. You'll see reflections of, the culture, our culture. And this information is what's really going to determine, what frequency you operate under. A lot of people don't understand you have to change your mental environment in order for you to truly be a higher frequency conscious being, And your mental environment has to do with the accumulation of thoughts that you have acquired through the things that you subjected yourself to in life. A lot of people are operating underneath the Christianity doctrine, or the Muslim doctrine, or the Jewish doctrine, or the Hindu doctrine. All these other schools of thought that have nothing to do with melanated Nagadu is what we call it in Wusabat. Call it Nagadu, which is just a word for Negroid in Sabian language. We don't operate, or we don't understand that these doctrines that we are, adopting as our own and, applying it to our life, or even, adopting as our culture is not really our culture. You feel me? And that's an understanding that we have to get through knowledge, sound right reasoning. We have to do and cipher through the books. We have to have this kind of understanding.
Here's just some quick info on Dr. Malachi Z. York, the person that Tron, a.k.a. Logan, a.k.a. Whom Canoom, currently follows.
As reported by the Liberian Daily Observer newspaper over the months, and established by court records, Dr. Malachi Z. York is an African, a global nationalist, international icon, teacher, etymologist, author, songwriter, and record producer. He has for decades served, and is still revered as a leader by a number of immigrants to the United States, including those who were born and have their ancestral roots there, the Caribbean, Canada, the United Kingdom, and a host of many other countless nations in the world. His works of over 1,000 books on the great history of Africa, Africans, self-determination, and our story in antiquity has influenced millions the world over, has inspired change and influenced the lives of hundreds of thousands of not only those who closely support him, but even those yet to meet him in person. Dr. York is a naturalized Liberian citizen, consul general, and diplomatic agent appointed in 1999 by former President Charles Genké Taylor, and following his arrest and imprisonment in 2002 in Georgia, United States of America. His diplomatic status was later confirmed by a 2004 declaratory judgment in the Montserrado County 6th Circuit Judicial Court for the Republic of Liberia, Montserrado 6th Judicial Circuit Court, headed by Judge Yusuf Kaba, who served at the ECOWAS courts, and now appointed as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, came down with the verdict after confirming Dr. York's innocence of all charges levied. against him in the U.S. court said to have been predominantly managed by whites who, it is said, took no interest in the fact there was a lack of physical, medical, or whatever other evidence against Dr. York, who becomes 74, on June 26, 2009. He was arrested in 2002 and sentenced to 135 years, by what his supporters believe was a biased court in Georgia on allegations of racketeering, money laundering, and the Mann Act. The Daily Observer has in its possession an amicus brief, judicial court judgment, that was filed in the United States 11th Circuit of Appeals on behalf of Dr. Malachi York by the Republic of Liberia in 2005, maintaining his innocence. All charges due to alleged witness tampering by the United States prosecutors.
Isn't that wild, y'all? The guy that he's currently following teachings of is currently incarcerated for 135 years in the state of Georgia.
We have to have this kind of understanding. So, I say that to say this, is that, I've had a lot of things happen to me in my life. Shady characters, shady people coming into my life, dipping, flip-flopping like flapjacks. I've had a lot of things that happen to me, and I have to always have love because I operate underneath a divine order. You know what I'm saying? Of a higher power, of a higher frequency called A'ashuk. A'ashuk is divine love. So I choose divine love over anything else because that is the mental environment, or I would say that's the mental frequency that our higher selves, or our Nafadu, which is our overseers, operate underneath. And we have to also understand that the forces in nature are real. You know what I'm saying? The forces in nature are real. There's agreeable and disagreeable beings that exist, and they're out there. So it's important, and allow a lot of people y'all have your own concepts and understandings, and people want to be free spirits and say, I don't believe in this, I believe in that. People have their own, kind of concept and understanding when it comes to their way of life and how they see things. And that's fine, because I'm like, no matter what you're involved in, not everyone's going to agree with that. That's where you have to understand the forces in nature. When you have agreeable and you have disagreeable, or you want to put it positive and negative, or you have people that, like I said, agree and disagree with your truth. You feel me? You have to understand that you could be a Christian, and guess what? There's going to be people that aren't Christian that are going to look just like you, that are going to be like, nah, I ain't Christian. There's going to be people that look just like you that are Muslim, but you're not Muslim. You feel me? And so you have to understand and respect, as we do as Sabians and Nuwapians, we respect other people's opinions, we respect other people's truth, but we also operate underneath sound right reason. So
y'all, when Tron, aka Logan, aka Whom Canoom, says he respects other people and their opinions, the lie detector test determined that was a lie, because when he caught wind of my YouTube channel, he sent me a message on IG cussing me out, and then he blocked my account. But I have over 50 troll accounts, so I'll be posting new content of him shortly.
Opinions, we respect other people's truth, but we also operate underneath sound right reason. So we want to be able to prove and make sure that what we are living by, or what we are adopting in our life, makes sense, something that is sound right and can be proven. You feel me? So I say that, like I said, to say this. I've had people that have been in my life for a split second, and then they did a lick, a splickety, whoop, wop, they left. You feel what I'm saying? That's cool, but I still have love for those people, even the people that, did me dirty. I remember I used to have this friend, and this friend always used to steal from me. You feel what I'm saying? And I knew he used to steal from me. But this person wasn't a threat to me. I knew, if I needed to, it would just be a rap. I could check him, I could beat him, I could, break him down, beat him up, whatever I could do that. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't worried about that. I knew this person was stealing from me, but because I was in a state of not knowing who I was and didn't have no self-respect for myself, I used to let this person just stay around me. You know what I'm saying? He used to sneak weed from me when I used to go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? He used to, take a couple dollars from me if I had any change laying around. You know what I'm saying? This person always used to steal from me. And I knew he used to steal from me. He's a kleptomaniac. You feel me? But I always had that understanding. But I never took it to heart. And I never really judged the person. I judged the person based off the character of his actions. but I never made that person who that person was, because people change. Like, you know what I'm saying, the top of a dime. Like, people can flip quick, you know what I'm saying, from good to bad, from bad to good, from agreeable to disagreeable, from disagreeable to agreeable. Like, people change so quick nowadays, and I always allow people to have room to grow, because I know people are going to change. So I operate underneath Ashuk, which is the divine love of just letting live, let live. That doesn't mean be a pushover, and when someone's in your reality, you don't check them, or you don't like exit somebody from your life and be like, yo, what you doing right now is wild crazy and you gotta go. You feel what I'm saying? Or I gotta go, because you can't just be up in my space like that. You feel me? So, you know, obviously there's gonna be certain times where we obviously have to, you know, stand on your square, of course. But what I'm saying is, for, you know, the lack of better words, I should say, to shorten it, what I say is that we need to, you know, we need to have this kind of love, man. This is the only way that we really gonna be able to leave this life, to leave this reality and move on to something greater, is to be able to operate in that divine love. I posted something on Facebook yesterday, or today, I think it was today, yesterday. I said, no, it was yesterday. And I said, for anyone that ever did me dirty, or, you know, treated me a certain type of way, or, you know, did whatever, you know what I'm saying, just know I got love for you. No matter what it was, I got love for you, because I accept you for who you are. Meaning that people are going to be who they are going to be. You can't change somebody or try to make someone, you know what I'm saying, something that they're not. You just got to accept people the way that they are.
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True. Many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy, and I love this book.
And love them from that space. Sometimes it may be with a 10-foot pole. Sometimes it may just be like, yo, I can't even like talk to you or deal with you. But that doesn't mean I hate you. And that definitely doesn't mean I don't have love for you. You feel me? But I can't treat you. I can't have you treating me, or me treating myself, by dealing with you in a certain kind of way. You know, I gotta separate myself and, you know, compartmentalize in my life and be able to, you know, see the real from the fake, as they would say. You know, who the jakes and the snakes in your life? Who are the people that you need to cut out in your life? Because these people are not gonna bring you. They don't have any, want you to do better. They're not there to try to like uplift you in any kind of way. These people are just leeches and mooching and smooching off you, or just trying to drain your energy in any kind of way they can. You feel me? So, you know, I just wanted to bring that into your perspective today, because I don't want anyone holding any grudges. I don't want anyone holding any kind of negative feelings. If we have different perspectives in life, I don't look at you in any type of way. I'm not looking at you as a bad person, or I'm looking at you as like, oh, you're a demon, you're a devil. I'm not doing that. Like, whatever you got going on that we different, like, hey, listen, you feel what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know? But that's divine love, is being able to still have respect and love for somebody, even though y'all have differences. But a lot of people can't do that nowadays. A lot of people can't do that because a lot of people just, it's easier for to hate. You know what I'm saying? We are beings that have stooped so low to a frequency where we have to hate. We have to backbite. If I have a disagreement with somebody and I don't like that person, or if I don't like their opinions on certain situations or whatever, then we have to backbite. It's got to be war. It's got to be, we either agree and we're friends and you're cool in my book, or we're not cool. We not friends. I can't love you. I hate you. I gotta backbite. I gotta talk behind your back. I gotta say something. I can't let this nigga live. You feel what I'm saying? It's all about a character assassination in this generation. That's a bar. It's all about character assassination in this generation.
Y'all, bless his little heart. He just said that was a bar. Tron, a.k.a. Logan, a.k.a. Whom Canoom, don't quit your day job. You're not built for rapping.
Character assassination in this generation, whether it be publicly or behind the scenes, don't matter. If you talking or you backbiting behind someone's back when they ain't there to defend themselves, to talk about it out with you, and you telling somebody else, and that's what you're doing. You feel me? And that's just what it is. And I'm not going to say I haven't done that in my life, you know, but we have to strive to do our best and do better in life, you know, because we don't, that's like low vibration. That's what I'm saying. When we say low vibration, I'm saying if a divine being came down to earth right now, do you think that divine being that came down from earth right now would act like us humans? Think about that real quick. Reality check. If a divine being, like a supreme being, came down to earth right now, do you think that being would act like the human? Do you think they would have the emotions of a human? Do you think they would have the thoughts of a human and think the way that we think on this human earth? Think about that for a second. We talk about supreme beings and the most high and divine beings and all that. Okay, so if one came down into the physical being, or if one came down from the heavens and the skies and came down here, do you think that they would think like we think? You feel me? If they thinking like we thinking, and they don't have any supreme thoughts that make them differentiate between me and, you know, who they are, then they really couldn't be a supreme being. Because there has to be some type of differentiation between the humans that are here on earth and then what we would call a supreme being or a deity that came from the skies, that came down to earth to make a difference in life. You feel me? So, and that's deep if you think about that. That's really deep. If you just sit on that for a second and just kind of like marinate in that. And what we have to do as conscious, aware beings that are ascending, for those who are, because not everyone's going to make it, but for those who are ascending, for those that are making the transition mentally, we have to elevate our conscious. We have to elevate our characteristics. We have to elevate our habits and ways of life. The supreme beings that come down to here don't have to stoop down to our level. We have to stoop to their level. You feel what I'm saying? When I say stoop, I don't mean stoop. I'm saying we have to rise. We have to rise to a higher consciousness. The supreme beings don't have to lower their consciousness or their intellect to understand us. We have to understand them if we claim any being to be a supreme being. You feel me? And that's just to put into context of where we are at as far as our mental capacity and understanding and perception of life and operating in Ashuk, which is divine love, at all times. Being able to understand certain principles and things like that. You know, how do you treat someone after you have a disagreement with them? Or how do you treat someone after they have wronged you in a certain kind of way? You feel what I'm saying? How do you look at that person? You know, do we have a higher intellect or understanding of the natures of the conscious mind and the agreeable and disagreeable spirits that we can tap into? The six ether forces that we can resonate on. Do we have that kind of conscious understanding? Or are we just blindly walking around in this world not having a higher intellect or understanding of ourselves?
Now, Tron, aka Logan, aka Whom Canoom, I don't think that you have a full understanding of yourself. You have not actually done the work necessary to heal since leaving carbonation. You just jumped right into another cult. Now you're a Nawapian. My thing is, why can't you just be Logan? Just be Logan. Be yourself.
Of ourselves. Like that book I be posting. There's two of them. One is Genetic Kiss and the other one is Patarat, the 30 Spirits, which talks about the 30 different personalities that are linked to your 4 generations or your ancestors. You know, you have 30 different personalities inside of you that change from a day-to-day basis, depending on how much control you have over these 30 different personalities that exist within you. But it's all genetics. But we were never taught in school that our genetic connection or our genetic link to our ancestors also passes down genetic memory, habitual patterns, behaviors, characteristics, personalities. We were never taught that our genetic links is not just the phenotypes that we see where you looking like your moms or you looking like your pops or you look like your grandfather or your grandmother. We weren't taught that we were also passed down personalities, spirits, energies that we have to deal with. They didn't put this in your history books. They didn't put this in your science books. They didn't put this in your biology books. Had we have an understanding of this stuff, then we would start to look at people in a different light. Then we would start to see things in a different light. We no longer would have to look at, people in such a twisted perspective to the point where I cannot accept a person even existing or breathing. You feel what I'm saying? Because I don't have a higher perspective or understanding about life. And the understanding that not everyone has control over their spirits. Not everyone has control over the Leviathans and the six ether spirits that they're influenced by. Not understanding that, we're a product of our environment.
All right, y'all, going ahead and drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Thank you guys in advance.
So when we look at the incarceration, the mass incarceration of black people that get sent to jail on a day-to-day basis for committing murders and stealings and robbings and killings and all the things that we do, are we going to blame the people that are being put into jail, or is there a percentage where we have to look at the product of our environment and where we were raised? Same has to be said for our genetics and understanding these personalities, these 30 spirits that are in us. Look at your family tree. You feel me? So it goes deeper than the surface. We have to have clear, concise understanding of this when we're dealing with people. That's how you operate in our ashuk. That's how you have love for people that did you wrong. Doesn't mean you have to befriend. Doesn't mean you have to treat them like your buddy. Doesn't mean you have to have them sitting at your table. It just means that, no matter what you did to me, I got love for you. Regardless. Because I have a higher understanding where most don't. And a lot of people aren't. Because you have to understand, half the world is indoctrinated into religions like Christianity, being a Muslim, being, all kinds of other things. And that's fine. It's not even to say that those things are necessarily bad. It's just that those religions don't offer the complete, in my personal opinion, based off my truth and where I'm at, these religions do not offer, the complete understanding. And when you don't have a complete understanding, especially for melanated black people who are the most affected by, society in this moment in time, and, what we've been indoctrinated into and what we've gone through, us not being connected to our culture and our true spirituality, it leaves us lost in the sauce to a certain extent. Where even if you are a Christian, you still have attributes and behaviors about yourself that won't allow you to operate in ashuk, truly. You feel what I'm saying? Even if you say, praise the Lord, and, you're praising the God, and you worshiping, and you getting on your knees, and you doing the whole shiggy-majig, there's still a part of you that, slap a mother. You feel what I'm saying? There's still a part of you.
So now, because he's a Nawapian and following the teachings of Malachi Z. York, he won't, slap a mother. Yeah, okay. All right, Tron, a.k.a. Logan, a.k.a. Whom Canoom. That's a lie, because I'm sure you popped off and will pop off when you're ready.
I'm saying, slap a mother. You feel what I'm saying? There's still a part of you that, can't operate in that ashuk truly. And it's because you rooted to a religion that's not in your best interest, or I would say that's not rooted in who you truly are as an original person on this earth. Feel me? So, there's a fine line of understanding that we need to come to when it comes to talking about this stuff. And it's tough subjects. This is tough subjects, tough information. It's sensitive talking about things like this, because so many people have been affected in so many different ways by certain people, where it's like even talking about forgiveness or even talking about operating in divine love to the point where you could be like, I still got love for somebody even though you did me wrong, is like, how could you even conceptualize something of that nature when this person did this to me, or this person did that to me? You feel me? So it's hard. It's very hard, but like I said, it all comes within understanding and knowledge. And if you don't have that knowledge, then there's going to be a missing puzzle to that piece for you to even be able to apply that part of the information to your life. So it all comes down to that understanding, man. I really wanted to leave that for y'all, because we all go through certain things in life, And it's very important. It's very important that we have a clear, concise understanding in life, man. You know, and not be controlled by these six ether spirits, not be controlled by the Leviathans, not be controlled by these lower entities. You know what I'm saying? These lower frequencies. We have to get back to our culture, man. Wu Sabat is here. So if anyone has any questions, man, y'all can ask questions. If anyone has any questions, if anyone wants to move forward in any kind of knowledge and any kind of information, I got you. You know, like I said, I'm just sitting here right now. I'm just having some lunch, or what I should say, you know, whatever you want to call it, at whatever time it is. You know what I'm saying? At different times. It's my first meal of the day, so, you know, I eat. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all got questions, man, ask the questions. Peace to everyone in the room. We got Cal Worldwide. What's good? Earthman in the building. What's good? His reflection. What's good? Mutilator. Mutilator. What's good, Mutilator? It's a funny name, man. We got Rasa Duhu. What's good?
All right, y'all. Going ahead and drop me a comment. Smash the heck out of that like button and share. Thank you guys in advance.
757. What's up? We got show Benny Carnpaul. There's a little question box right here. Not even a box. It's actually a circle, and you can put your little you can put a question up in there, and I'll answer it. Or you can you know, put it in the comments. But I prefer this little bubble right here where it's got the question mark. Everyone in the room. We got a troll page in the room. Ari_JIII. What's up? You already know troll is in the building. People just don't want to use their regular pages. 7_XXXXX. What's good? I can't sleep. What's good? I can't sleep. Leo_girl. What's good? People be making all kinds of pages, man. Living_wild. What's good? Harley Quinn. What's up, Harley Quinn? We got Bone Girl. What's up, Bone Girl? I will show you. What's up? I will show you. What you gonna show me? Yeah, man. So I just wanted to come in, you know what I'm saying, give love and respects to everybody. You know, all respects to everybody that's coming through. You know, someone said, "Are you still going back to the tropics?" Absolutely, of course. You know, that's the number one. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's you know, a part of the mission is to get back to the tropics, align yourself with nature. Of course, the forces of nature are real. You know, so aligning yourself to the forces of nature, that's a definite. There ain't no contemplation on that. But you know, it's you don't want to bum rush things when you doing things, big things. You want to make sure you're setting yourself up for success, and you want to make sure that you're doing it for the best. So you know, I'm definitely going back to the tropics, definitely moving. But the way I'm moving is going to be, you know what I'm saying, in some kind of structured pattern that has some you know, that has some type of substance to it. I'm not just going to go out on some willy-nilly and then end up back in, you know what I'm saying, like, you got to do it in the correct way, in the correct time, and everything's happening in divine time. So absolute. To answer your question, Earthman. Then we got 7_XX ask me, and all y'all people that are in the room right now, y'all can ask me questions, man. It's open and answer for questions, man. It's a Q&A. How does genetics relate to astrology, and how your DNA originates from the stars? Well, first you have to understand that you know.
Now, his comments should know better. They know he don't know nothing about that, but here he go. He about to try to answer them. Let's listen to this around about all over the place answer, y'all.
First, you have to understand that, you know, astrology, and actually there's a book for this. You know what I'm saying? There's a book that talks about this from New Nuwap. But as far as astrology goes, the way that we interpret astrology in Nuwapian, Nuwapu is your... And it's not limited to astrology, because a lot of people, some people will teach you that, because, you know, the person told me one time that your soul is composed of planets, which would be your solar system, hence why they call it a solar system, right? And then, you know, your soul would be a compilation of, you know, these planets.
Who y'all think told him that his soul includes all of the planets? That's why they call it the solar system. Who y'all think told him that? I know who. It was Eligio Bishop, a.k.a. Nature Boy, a.k.a. Three God.
Affiliation of, you know, these planets that would make your soul, and the spirits would be, or your soul would be composed of spirits, and the spirits would be synonymous to the planets. But in Wu Sabat, that's not true, because your soul can't be confined to just this solar system, because we are omniverse beings. When I say omniverse, I'm saying our soul extends past the planets in this universe. You feel what I'm saying? We're beings that aren't just bound to this universe. Our soul is eternal. If you have an eternal soul, that means your soul is linked and connected to all of the verses. The omniverse, the multiverse, the triverse, the universe, all of the verses. So black melanated people, we have an eternal soul because we are non-etheric beings. So our soul is not limited to this universe or this dimensional space of which we would, attach ourselves to. So when it comes to the correlation between the soul and this reality, it's not bound to, the solar system and that's it. It's way beyond that, and it's way deeper than that. You feel what I'm saying? But what's closely related to us and what's closely affected, we're affected by, are these planets, because we're in this reality. You know what I'm saying? At this point in time. But our soul is eternal, so it's way further than that, way beyond that. You know what I'm saying? And there's knowledge to explain how our soul is beyond that, But some people are limited in their knowledge, and they only want to teach people, at a baby level. Feel me? And, I get, teaching people at a baby level, but, if you're a baby yourself, you might want to go study first and get some more information and knowledge underneath your belt before you go teaching people. You know what I'm saying?
Tron, aka Logan, aka Whom Canoom, I really hope that you take your own advice. You need to go study some more before you get up on live trying to tell anybody anything about life.
About before you go teaching people, certain information and mislead the people. Feel me? So to answer your question, the spirit, the absolute. Now the soul is the absolute. The spirit is just, we have spirits that, come in and out. People operating on spirits. The spirit is like a frequency or an octave. Octave is like a note on a key. That would be synonymous to a spirit. You feel what I'm saying? But a soul is the completion of all of that. You feel me? The soul is the completion. It is the eternal. The eternal soul. So a spirit and a soul are two different things. But I hope I answered your question as far as the DNA and the DNA and so the DNA, and that's another thing too, as far as the DNA. The DNA and the sequence of the DNA would be your bacterial genetic makeup. And I want to let you know this, and I'm gonna say this: if you stare in a mirror long enough, you start talking to yourself. You realize that you're talking from the inside out. When I stare in a mirror and I'm looking at myself and I'm talking, I'm realizing that I'm talking from the inside out. This body and even the DNA that makes up this body is bacteria. This meat suit that you're in is bacteria. And what it does is it encases your soul. But your soul is what animates the body. You feel me? So your soul is eternal. That's who you truly are. And it animates this body. As Wu Sabat, we teach, or I guess our religion would be animation. We believe in animism. Things that contain a soul that animate the being. Now someone could be possessed with a spirit, and that spirit can make you act a certain way, but that spirit is not your soul. You feel me? That spirit would just be like a mood or a color or an octave on a key. When you tap a key, it's gonna, you got A, C, D, B, you got keys, you got notes would be like the synonymous to a spirit. You feel me? And a spirit can possess and make you feel a type of way or make you do certain things. It's a spirit. Get possessed by the Holy Spirit. It's a spirit. You feel me? But your soul is eternal. So I hope I expressed that the best way I can. But as far as the stars go in astrology, like I said, I just explained it. We're all connected, of course. The sun, the moon, the stars, and the things that are in this universe are going to affect us, absolutely, because we're in this dimension. You know what I'm saying? And thus being in this dimension, we are affected by the things that are closest to us in this dimension. But don't limit yourself to this dimension or this universe thinking that you are not a completion or affected or even, tapped into, other realities, because you are. You have an eternal spirit. That means that or your eternal soul. That means that your soul is connected to, as melanated beings, we're connected to all other verses.
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True. Many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy, and I love this book.
Omniverse, Triverse, Multiverse, Universe, all of the verses. You know what I'm saying? We're omniverse beings. So, I just wanted to lay that law down for y'all. And I do have a book to explain that. So I will be putting that information out there for you, 7_XXX, so you have an understanding of that. Have you met another Nuwapian so far? Absolutely. There's a lot of Nuwapians. Man. I build with the Nuwapians all the time on social media, on YouTube. So if you ever want to catch me building with Nuwapians, we have YouTube classes that we be going on. So you can just the same name that I have here on my Instagram, Hu Kanum Raye Abba. You can take that, go on Facebook, and I post all of the lives that we do on YouTube to Facebook, so you can catch our lives there. How can astrology be accurate if the Gregorian calendar isn't the same calendar of our ancestors? Good point. And we don't use the Gregorian calendar. I'm glad you said that, because astrology is real. We believe in the astrological connection between the stars and the human, but we just don't go off the Gregorian calendar. I'm glad you said that, because that's another thing. We don't use the Gregorian calendar. The Nuwapians actually have the calendar that links back to our ancestors. So I'm glad you said that. Full deck, absolute. And there are many different calendars that our ancestors certain ones have. You go to different tribes, the Dogons, they got their own calendar. You got other tribes that are in Africa that they have their own calendar. But really, what it comes down to is getting the calendar that's most accurate and correct. You feel what I'm saying? Which with Nuwapians, we do have that. And I can post that up as well for y'all, so y'all can have an understanding of our calculation of time. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm glad you said that too, because a lot of people will just go with this Mukasu, Caucasoid interpretation, Greek interpretation of astrology, using the Gregorian calendar date and time, and then they'll base their existence off that, going in and getting the calculated birth chart done, and then basing their essence of who they are based off of that interpretation, which is a misinterpretation, because they're not using the proper date and time. You feel what I'm saying? As far as who we are, you got to understand that the Gregorian calendar is based off of the white or European Mukasu, as we like to say, or Caucasoid timeline, because they're the newest race. They're like babies. You feel me? You have races, different races. The darker you go, the darker the skin, the deeper the roots, as they say, right? So the darker the skin, the more original and original that person, that race is going to be. You feel what I'm saying? So for the Negroid or Nugaru, we are the original people of this earth. You feel what I'm saying? We are the original people of the land. You understand me? So we have the origins to everybody's history. And the most recent race that has come to be about is the Caucasoid, or the European. So their time and date is, they reference everything that they teach, and what they reference is based off of their timeline. It has nothing to do with us as black melanated people. It has everything to do with when they achieve certain things. That's why everything that they look at their whole history, right? Christopher Columbus in 1492 sailed the ocean blue and discovered the new world, right? That's based off their timeline. We already know that there was Native Americans that were there. We already know that there were black melanated people known as the Moroccan or the Moors that had already traveled and discovered certain things and have already planted their foot, you know what I'm saying, as far back as the Olmecs in Amexem or America. So we already know that there was other races prior to the European race that had come to America. But like I said, they base all of their life, or they base all of their timeline as far as like their history, it all goes back to their discoveries. That's why whenever you hear about Christopher Columbus, they don't teach the other races that, you know, explored and you know, found this part of the world. They teach their race were the ones that explored and found this world.
All right, y'all, go on ahead and drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Thank you guys in advance.
Even knowing that there are other races that have discovered and that found America prior to Christopher Columbus, but they can only teach based off of what they, because they're embracing their culture, they're embracing, you know, Europeans. You know what I'm saying? Europeans as this is what we did, this is what we claimed, this is what we found. So it's not to get mad at the Europeans for doing that. It's just to understand that black melanated people need to get tapped back into our history and our accomplishments and what we did, because the Europeans are not going to tell us that. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, because that puts us in a position where we have to be our own scholars. We have to be our own archaeologists. We have to be our own, you know, biologists and scientific discoveries. And we have to do our own history. We have to do our own work. That's really what it's doing, is it putting all the weight on us. We shouldn't look to another race to tell us our history. That's why when you look into Black History Month only goes as far back as slavery. You know what I'm saying? They don't ever teach anything about, you know, the black people that once, you know, built pyramids and lived in, you know, lands and, you know, had, you know, kingdoms prior to any other race and did amazing things. They don't teach that history because that history is not their history. You feel what I'm saying? So they can only teach like Chinese people. Chinese people don't have people coming into China teaching about Chinese history. No, Chinese people influence the world by telling their own history. You feel what I'm saying? And this is not a racist thing at all. This is just understanding that we differences between races, and we should not. And this is essentially what I feel like Europeans are telling us in a subliminal way, is like, yo, y'all got tools. Y'all got to go out there and do, you know what I'm saying? Pick your own, you know, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. And go discover the world is there. The world is yours. Go discover your history. Go discover the things out there that are for you. You feel what I'm saying? We don't need to look to them to try to tell us who we are. But in America, we kind of fallen victim, or kind of fallen into this this luxurious way of, you know, looking for the school systems and, you know, other races to kind of depict and tell us who we are. Because in slavery, we lost a lot of our origin. We lost a lot of our, you know, who we were. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff got left. And when we were conquered, when we were colonized, all that stuff was left in our history, was wiped clean. So what we need to do is we need to go and we need to do the work. We need to do the due diligence, and we need to understand that we should not look to other people to tell us who we are. We need to be telling other people who we are. That's what it comes down to. You feel me? And that's the best thing that that's the best example I can give for y'all in these moments of time. And something that we need to understand, and that's how we're going to influence the world. We're going to influence the world, and we're going to tell people who we are. We're not going to be told no more who we are. 6,000 years is up. The 6,000 years are up. The moon cycle is up. Now is the sun cycle. The sun cycle is the activation of the Negroid melanated race of people who are here to bring and set back the hands of time to its original state. You feel me? So that's just something that, you know, we need to understand. You know what I'm saying? I kind of went deep on that one, but I really wanted to give you that understanding, because I don't want us to play the victim role, and I don't want us to be like, I want my 40 acres and a mule and talk.
Y'all peep how all these ex-Carbonation members will ramble on and on and on nonstop, and then stop talking about, oh, I went deep into that one. No, the fuck you didn't.
I want us to be like, I want my 40 acres and a mule and talk about all the crazy things that happened to us. Yes, we were enslaved. Yes, we were this. Yes, we were that. Let's stop pointing the finger at white people. Let's stop pointing the finger at Europeans. Let's start taking accountability for ourselves and start realizing that we have the ability right now to go to these foreign lands and these countries that we actually originate from and do our own archaeological research. We don't have to wait for, you know, a European in a suit to come and tell us that this is fact or fiction. We have the ability to tell our own people that this is fact or fiction, or other races of people that, yo, this is what our, you know, our ancestry is. This is, you know, who we are as a people, as a race. This is who we are. That's what every other race is doing. The Hindus are doing that. Chinese people are doing that. Europeans are doing that. All other races are telling the world who they are based off their race. The African American race are the only people that are having our history trying to be explained to us or trying to be told to us through other people that aren't us. And like I said, this is not racist at all. This is just differentiating and understanding the realizations of the world. We want to have like a one-size-fit-all reality. In America, one thing I realized about America likes to put like a one-size-fits-all on everything, on everybody. But what that does is that confuses people from their origins. That's why in China, they don't put a one-size-fits-all on everything. No, they understand the differentiation between people and cultures and races and genetic backgrounds. They understand the differences. And the differences bring clarity to the people that we are amongst. You feel me? So as black melanated people, this is what we have to get back into, you know? And this is the best thing that we can do for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? This is the best thing. This is the only way we can heal. People want to talk. People want to complain. People want to, you know, talk about white privilege this, white privilege that. Listen, I'm done with all that. Because we have the ability to do for ourselves. But the only way for us to do for ourselves is to start implementing certain schools of thought amongst our own people. You know, and allowing our own people of our own skin color, people that look like us, to start telling us who we are. That's what we have to start getting into. You know? And this is the embracement that we can do for our people, man. I love this conversation. I love what Dr. Umar's doing, you know what I mean, for the schools. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there that are doing a lot of good. I'm not here to talk about the bad. I'm not here to talk about people's shortcomings or downfalls or things that they've done in their past that, oh, this person this person that. I'm not here to do all that, man. What I'm here to is to embrace the melanated people in America and the melanated people worldwide, because this is going to bring us all together to understand where we are at. And of course, not everyone's gonna, you know, make it. Not everyone's gonna, you know, understand. Not everyone's gonna be a part. That's fine. We don't need everyone. It only took a small amount of people to change the world. You know what I'm saying? The current world that we live in today was influenced by a small group of people. And the small group of people had an impact on the entire world. And everything that they wanted to put into society as far as their thoughts and their ideas spread like a wildfire. And now you can see how the world has constructed itself today based off a small group of people's way of thoughts and thinking. Feel me? So it's just an important thing, man. I just want to bring that to y'all as awareness. I know I had a Zamal in here who was talking about that, a brother.
Tron, a.k.a. Logan, a.k.a. Whom Canoe, I can tell you with 100% certainty, I haven't gained anything from listening to you rambling on about nothing. Outside of making this video for my YouTube channel, that's it. That's all.
Zamal in here who was talking about that, a brother who brought that in there. So I just wanted to, it was, okay, yeah, it was Full Deck 52. Full Deck 52. I'm glad that you brought that to the awareness and the intentions, because that really sparked my mind to go into that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you on that one. We got 7_XXX. The spirit a color, and the soul more like an entire rainbow spectrum. Hey, that's a good way of putting it. Absolute. The darkness. The soul is like the darkness, the ether. You feel me? So yeah. I like that, man. I like that 7XX. What's good? Yeah, absolute. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it comes down to, man. Is having our own people in positions of power to be able to, you know, do certain things. You know, and we have to understand that there are people that are not of our race that do not want us to be in power, that do not want us to, and it's not everyone. It's not when you look at everybody, you know what I'm saying? I think black people have a habit of just looking at, you know, Europeans or white people and being like, oh, they're all bad or this or that. Nah, there's agreeable people that, you know, from all races that are here to help. You feel what I'm saying? And there's also disagreeable people that look just like you. You feel what I'm saying? So we need to read between the lines and understand how to maneuver in this world, because everything's been mixed matched. We've all been mixed up like a deck of cards, you know? So now it's just time for us to put the work in. And like I said, we need to teach our people who we are, not other people trying to teach us who we are, you know? Because what happens is that leaves room for people to dictate, control, and monitor certain parts of our history to be able to paint a certain picture to either fit their agenda or to kind of, you know, paint a narrative and shape the way that they want people or a race of people to think or how they want them to act. You feel what I'm saying? And it's important that we tell our history, because what not knowing our history does is build it. Actually, what it does is it lowers people's self-esteem. When I was in school, all they taught me is that black people made mud pies in Africa and we were slaves. That's it.
I don't know about y'all, but I had an entire collection of the encyclopedia at my house, and I spent most of my time reading through those encyclopedias and asking my mother questions about our history. You know, not just our African history, but culturally, because I'm Jamaican. So we'd spend a lot of time talking about Marcus Garvey, the great Bustamante, Marlon Manley, like all of them. We would spend a lot of time talking about them, and my mom would make sure that I knew the history. So I definitely grew up knowing exactly who I am, how powerful as a people, melanated people are, and all of the great achievements.
In Africa, and we were slaves. That's it. And a lot of black people can testify that they only learned that as well. No matter what the statistics are out there, no matter what they're trying to tell you on the news that, oh, that's not true. No, I guarantee there's a lot. That's why you see on YouTube, we got all these black brothers on YouTube formulating their own platforms to tell our history, because it's not being told in school and it's not being told on the news. So there are a lot of black people that do feel oppressed from the simple fact that they're not being told the actual facts about who we were and what we did. You know what I'm saying? And to go deeper than that. And that's what Wusabat brings. You know what I'm saying? That's what the master teacher Baba Yanun brings. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Nuwapians, the Sabians, that's what we bring to the table, is the history of who we are and what we need to do in this time. Not getting caught up in other people's doctrines or other people's religions or other people's belief systems. Because as black melanated people, we had our own belief system. And we already know the scientists, the European scientists have already put out there that black people were the first original people of this earth. It's a fact. You know, I know a lot of people won't believe certain things unless people of that ethnic race comes forth and says certain things. You know, which is a shame, because there's a lot of us brothers out there that are teaching information out there that have gone to, you know, Africa and have seen the pyramids and translated the hieroglyphs and know how to read Arabic and Hebrew, and they know how to do all this stuff, and they're telling a different story. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like we need to start understanding that there is a different story that's being painted than the agenda that's being put out by people that don't even look like us and don't have our best intentions. And it's not to hate them, it's not to cast them out, it's not to make them feel like whatever. Honestly, we just have to look at what reality is. Each race is putting out their own perspective of what life is and who they are based off their origins and their background. So we can't look at it anyone crazy because they're doing that. You feel what I'm saying? We just have to have enough confidence and enough self-esteem within ourselves to understand that, wait a minute, we need to be telling our own story, not the other way around. And that's the only way that we're really going to understand who we are as a people. You know? Because the information's out there. It's available. You know, there's tribes in Africa that have all of our history right there in front of us. You can see it. Even in the history books, it's there. It's just the way it's painted is as if it's not connected to black people, like the Olmecs. We know the Olmec people were black, but they don't tell you that in history class. They don't tell you that. So in history class, we think that the Olmec people are a different race other than the melanated Negroid people of this planet. Same with the Egyptians. We think that the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, the ones that built the pyramid, we think that they are, you know, of another race, which they are in a sense, because over time, when we mixed races and lighter skinned people came about, then certain dynasties and certain rulerships were taken upon. So the depiction of Egyptian people were depicted off a certain type of people that were ruling at a certain period of time. But if you go to the origins of the ancient Egyptian people, you can see that they're darker skinned people. You feel what I'm saying? But what's put in the textbooks of today in the education system is people of a lighter pigmented color, which gives the depiction that.
All right, y'all, going ahead and drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Thank you guys in advance.
Okay, Egyptians weren't black, or the Egyptians weren't dark skinned people when they actually were. You feel me? So there, you have to understand the narrative of what's being painted to kind of, you know, distort us from really understanding. But as soon as you get to Africa, as soon as you start talking to the people that are from the land, they have a whole different history. You know, and it's funny because a lot of times, and this is how you know history is distorted in the way we teach it in America, because you can learn about Chinese history in America, and then you can go to China and try to teach people about the way that we understand history in America, and they'll tell you that everything that we know in America and how we depict Chinese history is wrong. You feel me? Which leads us to understand that the way that we are trying to tell other people's story in America is wrong. So what do you think they're trying to do with your story? You feel me? And it's only logical. This isn't like, you know, this isn't a hard concept to understand. We already know in the news and the media that they distort information. So what do you think they're doing in the education systems? I personally had an experience that went down where it was televised on the media. It was televised on the news. And what I experienced in real life wasn't what they put on the news. You feel me? So that's just something for us to understand, man. It's all love, man. We love all races. We all love all people. You know, shoot, that's what it is. We have love because we have understanding. We know, you know. It's just coming time now where we need to claim our roots. We need to claim our roots. We need to claim who we are through Wu Sabat. You know what I'm saying? Through the teachings of the Nuwapians, through the teachings of the Sabians, from the master teacher himself, Baba Yanun. Malachi Z. York put all the information out there for us to understand, you know. Say what you want, say what you will, but the reality is right there. The facts are right there. And this is what we need to tap into. So, you know, I just wanted to put that down there for y'all, that information for y'all, to give you some empowerment, to uplift the people in these times, for us to understand what the real is. You know, we need to understand what the real is so we can move forward, you know. And it really just comes down to understanding where we are at currently. Some people may not like it. Some people may disagree. It's fine. You know, disagreeing is a part of life. Can you disagree with somebody, but not try to cast them out or make them seem like a bad person or a demon for believing what they want to believe? Can you be a Christian and accept that someone else is a Muslim without having to make that person seem like a demon or a bad person? Is that a possibility? You have a perfectly good Muslim brother who has a different belief within their own truth. Is a good person. And then you have a Christian who is a good person, has a different belief, but is a good person. But then you see these two brothers casting stones at each other, saying and condemning them to hell, saying that you're going to go to hell because you don't believe in my doctrine. But this Muslim brother is a good person. He is a good person. But because he does not believe in the Christianity doctrine, he's going to hell because he is not a believer in Jesus Christ. He's not a believer in the Bible or the interpretation of the Bible. That's wild to me. This is what you call logical fallacies. Look it up. It's called logical fallacies. You know, this stuff is important, man. It goes deep. It runs deep. This is not surface level. When you come into my page, it's not surface level. I don't baby people. I want to bring people to an understanding of life. Open your mind a little bit.
Bless his little heart. He's seriously thinking that he's bringing people to a higher level and teaching people something. Y'all. Whew. All right, y'all. Let's continue to listen to Tron, a.k.a. Logan, a.k.a. Whom Canoom, who's apparently teaching us something.
Life. Open your mind a little bit. I've traveled. I've seen things. I've lived in different countries. You know what I'm saying? I have an understanding of the world a little bit more than the average person that's just been in America their whole life. You know? So, you know, I bring a real world perspective where I feel like a lot of people don't have. You know? And it's just waking people up. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been woken up. Feel me? I have to give thanks to the master teacher himself, Baba Yanun, and the Nuwapian nation, the Sabian nation. They woke me up with information I didn't have. You know, now I have the information. Now I'm able to, you know, uplift other people to be able to come into our empowerment of who we are as melanated Negroid people. You know, and tapping back into our history. Yes, we went to slavery. Yes, we went through all kinds of hardships and things. Okay, cool. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Now what? And it's not to discredit what happened to us. It's to empower us and put us forward. Now what? Now what we do is we put our people in power amongst our race, and we start to do what every other race is doing. You know what I'm saying? Which is building themselves up and becoming independent within their own being. When you go to Europe, you see majority of Europeans. When you go to China, you see mostly Asian people. When you go to India, you mostly see people that are Hindu or Indians. You feel what I'm saying? When you go to Mexico, you're gonna see Hispanic people. You feel me? So we just have to embrace who we are. Yes, we've been torn up. Yes, we've been split apart. Some very foul things have happened to us. Absolutely. But we're like ants. You ever knocked over an anthill before? I did one time. And I came back the next day, and the anthill was built even bigger and better than it was when I first knocked it over. That's what black people are like. That's what melanated people are like. You feel me? So we just need to have that confidence within ourselves. And we need to operate in love. Ashuk is divine love. Just because we powerful, just because we have a different perspective, or just because other people have a different perspective of life and how they want to live life, we don't condemn them. We don't look at them crazy. We operate ashuk, and we appreciate and we respect people's level of truth. Because everyone's at a certain level of truth. Feel me? So certain people are going to operate where they're at based off what they're able to conceive or what they're able to conceptualize as truth to be their truth. And there's levels. There's levels to this. You feel me? So yeah, man, I just wanted to leave y'all with some knowledge, man. I got some books being printed. I said I got some books being printed.
Tron, aka Logan, aka Humkanum, if you really truly have some books printing, I'm going to highly suggest that you get a proofreader, because the way how you talk, that book would be something else. Just trust me. Get a proofreader, get a good editor, make them go through it with a fine-tooth comb for grammar.
I said I got some books being printed. I got some books being printed right now. Nuwapian books. From the master teacher. I'm going to be starting to teach directly from the books, you know?
Oh, good. He's talking about books he's got on the way from Dr. Malachi Z. York. I was worried there for a minute. I thought he was talking about he authored a book.
Teach directly from the books, you know? And I'm going to have them in the physical so that I can go live, but then I can show y'all as I'm teaching y'all, you know what I'm saying, from the book itself. And then I'm going to walk you through the class. We can source, we can cite, we can go, you know what I'm saying, and find the information. You know what I'm saying? I'll walk you right through it, man. We're here to build, we're here to grow, we're here to evolve. You know? That's really what it comes down to. Peace to everyone in the room. If anyone's got any questions, man, please ask questions. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Full Deck 52, appreciate you. Absolute. You already know, man, we on the deck. We on the move. You know, but I like, for me, I'm more about learning right now than I am teaching. I come on every once in a while and I'll go live and stuff, but there's so much that I have to learn. There's so much I have to, apply to my life and start doing. I'm not really on here like on Instagram like that teaching as much as I could be, because, I do believe in teaching. I am going to start teaching, but I'm going to be doing it directly from the book. You feel what I'm saying? But for the most part right now, I'm just changing my mindset and changing my life. Doing for myself, becoming better, becoming stronger. That's what it's all about. If anyone's got any questions, man, y'all can ask questions in the room. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everyone that came through. Appreciate everyone that's here, that's vibing, that's building with me. I appreciate y'all. This is a time for a progression. This is a time for upliftment. This is what true empowerment looks like. Not hating other people, not slandering other people, not putting other people down for the things that they did in the past. It's upliftment. We uplift our people. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's upliftment. And it's positive and it's really good. That's why I'm so glad that there's a lot of brothers out there that are doing that. Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. He's out there doing some great work, man. I appreciate it. Nah.
Not him shouting out Dr. Umar Johnson, who has been collecting donations from the black community for the past 10 years, talking about he gonna open a school and it still ain't open yet. Not him shouting him out.
Nah. Absolutely not. No homelessness, man. I'm staying at Airbnbs, man. I'm doing good. I'm doing good for myself. Feel me? So, you know, that's what that is. You already know. Listen. My life is progressing. My life is just evolving, getting way better. You know? Absolutely. I appreciate you. It's only going further and further and further. I got a lot more things for y'all. I'm going to be doing PowerPoints. I'm going to be breaking things down. As soon as I get my laptop, I'm going to be doing all kinds of things. You know? I got all kinds of things on the way. You know? So that stuff is just, you know, it's progressing. It's evolving. It's you know what I'm saying? It's in the works. Why I'm not in the tropics? Because to be in the tropics, you have to have a certain kind of income. You have to have a certain kind of finances. You can't just be in the tropics without the right resources. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to bum rush things, you know what I'm saying, and just go anywhere and be wherever. I was in the tropics before without a steady stream of income. And what happened? Everyone that I was with that was in the tropics ended back in America because there was no proper flow of income. There was no proper stream. There was no foundation. There was no business plan. There was no idea. You know what I'm saying? We weren't doing any things, or from what my understandings, things were not being done in a calculative manner. You know what I'm saying? I'm an entrepreneur, so we have to have multiple streams of income. And then we can do that amongst each other in the community. As soon as black people start exchanging the dollar within the black community, this is how we start building each other up. Did you know Chinese people come to America and they work and then they send American dollars back to China? Did you know that people that are from Jamaica, then people from Jamaica do this? They come to America, make money, and then send that money back to Jamaica. We got people from India come to America, make money, and then send it back to India. You feel me? So for me to, you know, go to the tropics and establish a group or organization or whatever you want to call it and live out there, I have to have something established here first. You feel me? Same thing with people in Africa. Hey, I appreciate you. Man, we all got talent, man. We all got talent. We all got talent. We all got gifts, man. It's about tapping into your gifts and utilizing your gifts and not misusing your gifts. Because if you misuse your gifts, it's a sin, you know? And my belief and understanding. I'm not here to cast no spells upon people. That's just what I know to be truth. All right? But I appreciate you for you, NeckT_diaries. Appreciate that. Important darts.
All right, y'all. Going ahead and drop me a comment. Smash the heck out of that like button and share. Thank you guys in advance.
Spark. Why I'm in the northern hemisphere? Why I'm not? I just explained to you why I'm in the northern hemisphere. Not in the tropics right now because you can go to the tropics right now. You have to have a certain kind of income. If I go to the tropics right now, where am I going to be at? Or you could say just live off the land, be outside. I could do that. Or I could establish myself a stream of income to be able to do more in the tropics. You feel me? America is like a hub to be able to make money and then make that money work for itself for you to have a income. You see, without money, you can barely do anything. You feel me? Because the whole world is run off currency. So I have to get currency to be able to do things in other countries. So,
y'all, at least he realizes what he did last time was a true dummy mission. Like, straight up dummy mission. He went there to Melanation, joined Eligio Bishop, a.k.a. Nature Boy, a.k.a. Three God, and bummed around all around Central America and the United States.
Able to do things in other countries. So I'm in America right now building my currency up in this world so that I can leave and go to the tropics to build another world. But the only way to do that is to have currency. So that's why I'm not just going off into the tropics, into the sunset without a plan. That's like setting sail without a paddle. You feel me? Or like setting sail without a direction. I'm not doing that. I did that before. What you're telling me, what you're talking about right now, Immortal Dark Spark, I did that. And I ended up right back here. Did it several times. I was out there for 5 years.
Yep, he just confirmed that he was following Eligio Bishop, a.k.a. Nature Boy, a.k.a. 3 God, for 5 years.
Did it several times. I was out there for 5 years. You feel me? So, you know, it all comes down to circumstances and how you want to set yourself up. There's people out there right now in the tropics absolutely doing what they want to do. But they're living a certain kind of way as well. For me, I have a different vision for myself. And a different vision for the people that I'm going to encounter and that I'm going to touch with my words and my wisdom. Anointed to me by the Nuwapian Nation, Sabian Nation, Baba Yanun, the Master Teacher, all of the people that I've encountered that gave me divine knowledge and wisdom. So there's a certain kind of way that I want to move. I don't just want to bum rush something. I'm not doing that. I did that before. I was with a group that was bum rushing. That's all we were doing, bum rushing. And we didn't make no progress. Feel me? So, yeah, definitely doing different. Definitely doing different. What happened to cosmic currency? Y'all influence, you gotta understand that's a different time. Immortal Spark, that's a different doctrine. That's a different teaching. You know, a lot of the stuff that was taught underneath that doctrine and that person was not actual facts. Things didn't add up with sound right reason. Now, I'm not saying you can't manifest with the mind and, you know, manifest cosmic currency. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying there's a certain way that you have to establish certain things. And just going out there and hoping for the, you know what I'm saying, for the best and just manifesting and just trying to get, it's just not logical. It's not something that is really going to be feasible. Because in the end, you can see where that organization ended back up with. They're all in America right now. You feel me? So,
but he followed this doctrine and those teachings from Eligio Bishop, a.k.a. Nature Boy, a.k.a. 3 God, for 5 years. I mean, he can't be surprised if somebody's asking him about what he preached for 5 years.
They're all in America right now. You feel me? So, I'm in America. You feel me? That's enough. Testimony. I'm your testimony right here. Cosmic currency works. I'm not saying cosmic currency doesn't work. But it's the way that you utilize. What kind of thoughts am I putting out? Am I in the tropics? Am I in nature? And I'm just using the manifestation of my mind to generate enough money to be able to just feed myself for the week and feed myself for the next week. Listen, like I said, I have a different motive and a different method. The information and the knowledge that was once taught from where I was and the organization that I was a part of, that's no longer where I'm at. And I no longer operate underneath that information. So the information I have right now is calling forth upon a new strategic plan of motion based off the root, which is knowledge. So the knowledge has switched up via the plans has switched up to put into effect. Not taking away from the fact that being in the tropics and all that jazz, it's just the way you go about it. Once you try something enough times and you see it's not working, you try something different. You don't just continue doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's insanity. Feel me? Earthman said, I know the answer to the question, but to make sure, as a black man, do you believe in mixing with other races? If you know what I mean. Me personally, nah, I don't believe in that. And that's not to say I hate, you know what I'm saying, on any other, that's not what I'm saying. I just don't believe in the mixing. You know what I'm saying? I believe that there's a sacred diversity in line for that, for a reason. Just like you see in nature, you know what I'm saying? You don't see, you know, cougars, you know, there's a whole cat species in nature, but you don't see, you know, lions mixing with tigers. And when you do, it's just, you know, genetically modified, you know? So, and then you see ligers, you know what I'm saying? Ligers are just a genetic modification between a mixture between a lion and a tiger. But from my personal belief, nah, I don't believe in doing that. And that's just me. That's just me. It's not to say that other people can't do what you want. Hey, do what you will. As a Nuwapian and Sabian, I respect other people's perspectives. And I love people still the same. You know what I'm saying? So it's all love in my book. But as far as the mixing, nah, I don't. So I hope that answered your question, Earthman. If anyone else had any questions, y'all can ask some questions. I lost my job and let go of attachments because y'all influenced me to. Hey, listen, we did what we did at that time, and I apologize, yo. And I'm not smiling because I'm laughing at you. I'm smiling because, yo, I don't think you understand what I let go of. You feel what I'm saying? I let go of a lot too, man. I let go of a whole lot. Left, had my whole experience for 5 whole years. You feel what I'm saying? So, listen, I'm right there with you. I did a whole bunch of things that I look back at and I'm like, man. But at the end of the day, I don't regret anything because it taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I stand strong where I'm at right now because it brought me to something greater. You feel what I'm saying? So your experiences, you're not defined by your experiences. And people make mistakes. So I don't look at that person, you know what I'm saying, that was teaching that knowledge or even that organization. I don't look at them crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I operate underneath Ashuk, which is divine love. No matter if someone was in a mentally impaired state where they didn't really understand what they were talking about at the time, and they were just influencing and teaching people something or whatever like that, and I fell right into the hands of whatever someone else was influencing or teaching me at the time, hey, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at it crazy because at the end of the day, I have the ability to have sound right reasoning. So I should have been able to see certain things coming. But if I didn't see it coming and I had to learn a lesson, then that's fine. It ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not looking nothing crazy. So to answer your statement, O Mortal Spark, you know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, that happens in life, you know? And it is what it is. Things change, and that's another thing. You have to be able to adapt to change. A lot of people who have a hard time in life are people that can't adapt to change. And if you look into your life, things are consistently changing all the time. Nothing ever really stays the same. Everything's changing. The stock market changes. The price of food changes. The price of gas changes. Cars change in models and years. The advancement of technology changes. Even our conception and understanding within science changes. And the understanding the boundless universe, that changes. You know, things change. So you have to be adapted and understanding and be open to change. If you're not open to change, then you're going to get left behind. You feel me? But don't hold grudges against people because of the fact that, you know, you may have, you know, or someone may have done you dirty or maybe taught something that's not true or, you know, things like that. Don't hold people to that, you know what I'm saying, and make a grudge out of it. That's not good for your soul and your spirit. Hey, Immortal Sparks, man, listen. I feel you, but listen, like this information I'm teaching right now, this information right now is going to be able to help you to get your mind right, to have an understanding. Believe me, I used to be against the system as well. I used to have that whole like conception of like F the system, F the government, F money. But, you know, we have to understand that we have to use money in these times. And there was a time where I believed a certain way and I learned a lesson from that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, listen, I wish you the best, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
Tron, a.k.a. Logan, a.k.a. Whom Canoe, how did you learn your lesson? When you left Carbonation, you joined the Nawapians. So you traded one cult for another. You traded one master for another. Why don't you try to master yourself and lead yourself and follow yourself?
Best, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't take back anything. I can't turn the hands of time back. But what I can do is I can give you some sound right reasoning that may be able to help you along your journey today. You know what I'm saying? That may allow you to do better for yourself today. You know, because I do understand how hard that is. You know what I'm saying? Just being in those states of mind. You feel what I'm saying? I would advise you to you know what I'm saying, if things that were said that sounded good but held no weight. You know what I'm saying? Half truths. So when you're dealing with half truths, you're gonna encounter some complications in your life, you know, when it comes to applying that knowledge to your life. So that's the only thing I can tell you. Feel me? You went from a bedroom house to a tent. Yeah, man, that's a reality. I did the same thing, man. I went from a bedroom house to a tent. You know, I went through that, but I wouldn't take back that experience at all because that experience taught me a lot about myself. You know, so it's all Ashuk and divine love, man. That's what that was. It was an experience. You got to be able to go through experiences in life and not look at the experience as who you are, but look at the experience as what you've been through. And there's always time to change. So, you know, Immortal Spark. Just want to leave you with that, man. You can always hit my inbox if you have any, you know, further questions that, you know what I'm saying, things that you want to talk about. Peace to everyone that's entering the room, the new people. Peace, peace. If y'all have questions, man, ask some questions. Put it down in the box. I got y'all. How do I know this information will help? I don't know what's true or not anymore. Well, I mean, how you understand the information, if it works or not, is you put it to the test. You know what I'm saying? You put it to the test, and you also do your due diligence. Now, I think a lot of people that, you know, fell into that wave of consciousness through that teacher, or that person who was teaching information of half truths, didn't do their due diligence, me included, didn't do their due diligence in understanding that information to the fullest. They just kind of went with what someone said because it sounded good. You know what I'm saying? And then they just, you know, went out and just went off on a whim, never have any, you know, application or any kind of depiction of the, you know, the knowledge itself working. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, but there were some good truths in there were some truths that were being taught by that person as well. Because a lot of people don't know that that information actually comes from Nuwapianism. That information actually comes from the master teacher, Malachi York, Baba Ganun. No one knows that person that was teaching that information actually got that from Nuwapians. You know what I'm saying? That person will never admit that, but that's fine. You know, it's not about that person admitting it. It's just when you hear something and you can tell, you know what I'm saying, it's real. And, you know, the master teacher has books that go back to 67, you know what I'm saying, from the 70s. So we already know. It ain't even no contemplation or debate whether or not people that are teaching information today are getting information from, you know, other people that got it from, you know, other places. So we already know where that is, man. We don't have to play those games. There's books that came out in the 70s that are teaching information that, you know, certain people are teaching. But the reality is that there is misinformation within the information that's being taught today, which is misleading people. And unfortunately...
All right, y'all, going ahead and drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Thank you guys in advance.
Certain people fall into the hands of that kind of information, and then it, you know, it changes their life. You know what I'm saying? Not for the better. But in the same sense, it does, because you learn something from it. It doesn't become a hindrance once you learn what you needed to learn from, you know, falling into the hands of the wrong information. If someone tells me to go left to get to Dunkin' Donuts and it's really right, and I turn left and I don't see Dunkin' Donuts in sight, then I could get mad at the person that told me to go left when Dunkin' Donuts is actually right. You feel what I'm saying? I could get mad at the person that told me to go left to Dunkin' Donuts when that wasn't the direction I needed to go. Or I could look at it as I learned a lesson and I turn around and I go right to the right direction to where Dunkin' Donuts really is. And I could just be like, all right, cool. That person clearly didn't know, you know, what they were talking about, but I'm not going to hold that person, you know, accountable. I'm not going to hold him like, oh, that's the, and get mad at that person and try to make that person the problem. You know what I'm saying? You can't make anybody anything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta operate underneath divine love, which is Ashuk. You know what I'm saying? Ashuk is divine love. You gotta have that divine love, you know, and operate in that. I'm not gonna hate anybody or have any malice, you know, towards people or backbite against people. You know, I'm just gonna be like, all right, cool. That person is at their level of understanding of truth. You know what I'm saying? And you could be at your level of understanding of truth. And you gotta evolve past that, my man. So, you know, I feel scammed. I don't know what to do anymore. Man, I feel you, bro. Like, that shit happened, man. Like, scam is real. And this scam is out there, yo. Like, the best thing I can tell you on that, you know what I'm saying, is just to put your feet back up underneath you. You know what I'm saying? And get moving towards where you're at. You feel what I'm saying? Once you start to see something for what it is, you know what I'm saying, then you start moving. As soon as, and for anyone that was really paying attention to that organization, to that group, you could see how things weren't lining up with what they were saying versus.
So if we could see that things weren't lining up, Tron, a.k.a. Logan, a.k.a. Hum Kanum, why did you stay for 5 years? Why?
How things weren't lining up with what they were saying versus what was happening. So as soon as you start seeing stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, that's a cue for you to, like, you know, take a distance and start moving, you know, in a different direction. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to deal with sound right reasoning. That's not to say now that things change. You know what I'm saying? People are entering certain information, and sometimes teachers teach, you know what I'm saying, at a level where they enter in, you know what I'm saying, little by little by little. You know, but within the case of that, I wouldn't say that was the I wouldn't say that's what it was. I would say that that character was figuring himself out and learning certain information as he was teaching, and coming to certain realizations as he was trying to teach people, which is not what you want to do. You want to have a clear, concise understanding of what you're teaching before you go to teach people. So that way you're not trying to unravel in front of people and then misleading people, you know, based off, you know, teachings. You know, there's a difference between that versus someone that knows where people need to be going, but you know, teaching like the master teacher, you know, Baba Yanun, he was teaching people through different schools of thought from where they were at. Meaning you had Moors, you had Christians, you had people that were Muslim. So he would go and meet people where they were at and teach them from there and bring them up to a higher consciousness and level of understanding of who we were as original people. So there is a difference, you know. So yeah, big difference, man. But we have to also forgive and understand that person's going through their experience, you know what I'm saying? And forgive and love, you know what I mean? Shook, man, it's all divine. R_Hurley 420 or 4,200 said, it's okay to change one's mind and do something different. Absolutely, it's okay to change someone's mind, something and do something different. Absolutely, we change our minds all the time. You know, even from coming where we're at right now. You know, maybe you were once a Christian and then you stopped being Christian and you came into Wu Sabat. You came into a higher supreme knowledge to understand who you were as original people. We change. It's not, we shouldn't condemn someone because they are changing. You know, we should not do that. You know, because we're all under construction. We're all under changing, because our soul is what we're here to secure. We're here to secure our soul. You know, so the changing and the evolution is inevitable. You know, so I agree with that. R_Hurley. Peace to everyone that's coming in there. Yeah, and that's truth. And we're all intelligent. Like I want to let y'all know that, like, we all have that ability. You know what I'm saying? It's just whether or not you're able to apply that information and we're able to apply it to your life, you know what I'm saying, and really be able to teach it, you know what I'm saying, like really be able to embody it, you know. But and like I said, intelligence is not defined by someone's ability to recite something. That's what I want to say too. Intelligence is not defined based off the ability of someone's or the ability of someone's ability to be able to repeat with something that they heard. You know what I'm saying?
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True. Many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy, and I love this book.
True intelligence is the ability to apply what you've heard and be able to have you know, results in your life. You know what I'm saying? To have actual real substantial outcomes. You know what I'm saying? To recite something that you heard and to be able to teach that, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion, wasn't very intelligent. If I said I would not say that the person was intelligent in the sense of, you know, the way, because, you know, how they taught it was misinformation mixed in. You know, if your ability to remember something and teach it, you would teach the whole truth. You wouldn't teach misinformation and then have certain people in certain predicaments, like this person right here, Immortal Sparks, who's in a predicament where they don't know where to go now because, you know, they had some misinformation mixed in with some truth. You know what I'm saying? So, but there is intelligence there. You know what I'm saying? I will give the brother that. I will give all my brothers that. You know what I'm saying? There's lots of brothers out there that are, you know, teaching information out there. Some mixing in with misinformation, and other people are going straight off the doctrine. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is that I'm here to acknowledge the intelligence. So yes, of course, you know, we have the ability to be intelligent. You know what I'm saying? So that's true. Well, I wouldn't say that their intelligence was based off the ability to remember so quickly and then recite or teach what they remembered, because if you remembered it truly and you were teaching it truly, it would be a different depiction, or it would actually be a different interpretation and way of teaching, and it wouldn't be what you see as an example before you. Feel me? So that's what that is. We got life, live life, happy, or change. Peace, live life, happy, or change. What's good? So you know. But it's all love to my brothers. It's all love to my people, no matter what. And I trust people to be who they're gonna be. That's another thing. You have to trust people, you know, to be who they're gonna be. You know? And that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I operate under Ashuk, and I'm always trusting people to be who they're gonna be. You know, I'm never trying to change people. You know, people are gonna be who they're gonna be. People are gonna think how the way they're gonna think. Some people can't break, you know, the cycles of patterns in their own mind that was impressed upon them from society. So that's just what it is, man. I operate under Ashuk. So yeah, man. So I just wanted to leave that little jewel with you right there. Do I still follow or contact the brother? Absolutely not. You know, I'm a Nuwapi and I'm a Sabian. You know what I'm saying? So there's, like I said, there's information I have ascended my mind to a higher intellect and understanding of supreme knowledge. You know, so I do not follow the brother, nor do I keep up with the brother. But I still got love for the brother because I have love for all my people. You know, Ashuk will not allow me to not operate any other way. So I have love for all brothers. I have love for all sisters. I have love for all people. You know, and that's just what it is. No matter what the differences are, or how people treated me, or how people did me in the past, or how I did people.
All right, y'all, going ahead and drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Thank you guys in advance.
People in the past is all Ashuk. You know, that's divine love, because we are in the all expanding. But you will fail as an individual person if you were not in the all expanding. So I understand how life is. I understand how things are being maneuvered. I understand how things are, you know, coming out and how things are planned. You know, once you have a supreme understanding about life and what reality is and what's really going on in life, then you cannot hold no grudges and you cannot look at anyone sideways or look at anyone left, because I understand that people are on their journey and people are evolving and growing at their own speed. So it's all love. Feel me? That's why I have love for all my brothers. Absolute in Las Vegas right now. Absolute in Las Vegas, soon to actually be leaving, and I'm going to be going to another place looking for my biological family. A lot of y'all probably don't know I was adopted, so I will be going to find my biological family. You know, I was adopted at a young age. I'm going to be taking you know, myself, and I'm going to be going to look for my biological family. So, you know, I have certain things under wraps. I got certain things in the motion. So, you know, it's all in divine timing, but absolute. It's getting cold as a bitch. Ha. Is it cold in Las Vegas? I mean, it's cold for me, but the thing about it is, like, one thing I've learned is, like, I'm from an area where it's, like, really cold. Like, near, like, Massachusetts area, like, in that area, like, it's cold. So the cold in Las Vegas is not the cold that you experience in, like, places like Massachusetts and Detroit and, like, areas like that. That's a different kind of cold, my brother. So, you know, you got places like Florida, you got places like California, you got places like you know, Las Vegas or Nevada, Las Vegas. Like, the winter seasons there are way different, you know what I'm saying, because it's more like a subtropical area. So it's not the same kind of cold. I mean, I still bundle up because, you know what I'm saying, I still have that tropical vibe on me, you know what I'm saying. Being in the tropics, you never experience the cold, really. You know, so I still have that tropical vibe on me, but yeah, it's getting cooler. It's getting colder. I spent a winter in Las Vegas before, and it was cold. It was cold, but it wasn't cold. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like cold, like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, but it is what it is. You know, but I'll be in the house at nighttime anyway. So as soon as it starts getting cold, I just be at night. But I'm at Chipotle right now. I was just eating. You know what I'm saying? I was just eating, and I decided to do a video, you know what I'm saying? Just had some Chipotle, started to eat, and then I was inspired to do this video just to talk about Ashuk and divine love, you know, so that's what it is. Why I'm in Las Vegas? Because I have business I'm handling in Las Vegas. I'm in Montesquieu, I'm in Minnesota, homeless, and I'm about to bounce the States. Yeah, man, shit, that's crazy. Only thing I say for you, man, is like get yourself a job and get yourself, you know what I'm saying, something to maintain in the moments until you really figure out what you want to do. You know, get yourself a job so that you can get yourself a place. You know what I'm saying? That's the smartest thing. That's what I did. I got myself a job, so I got myself a place. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Things turn out like that. That's the best thing I can, you know, advise for you. You know what I'm saying, my brothers? Just get yourself some work so you can get some money in your pocket so that you can, you know, establish what you need to establish in your time of transition. You know, get you a stream of income. Whatever you got to do to, you know, get that bread real quick, because that bread is going to give you, you know, a reinsurance for you to do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be out here. You know what I'm saying? Get you some bread so you can get yourself a little place for the moment, and you figure out what you want to do with your life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do. But really what black people should be doing is establishing our own businesses and working for each other. That's really what it should be. You know, but hey, if you got to do what you got to do and work for the Mikasa, work for the white man in the moment of time, do it. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do in this moment in time. Get yourself a job so that you can, you know what I'm saying, get yourself back up. You know, just for the moment. You know, and then once you get established enough, you'll be able to, you know, generate income to be able to, you know, fulfill whatever you're good at. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're good at, whatever you feel like you could invest in yourself in and make a business out of, do that. Become your own, become your own CEO. Be an entrepreneur. You know, spread the money in the black community. Help the black people. You know what I'm saying? We start creating jobs for each other. We start creating businesses in the black community. We can start creating jobs for each other. But we don't have to start working for the white man and the Mukasa. We can work for each other. You feel me? So do what you do. But I would that's why I recommend you do is I would advise you to get some type of income or stream of income. I'm not necessarily saying you have to go get a job as far as working for the white man, but if you can get yourself a stream of income, do that so you can get yourself into a house, my brother. That's what I suggest you doing. You know what I'm saying? In these times. Don't be we smart, you know what I'm saying? We intellectual, we smart, we know how to move, you know. I would never tell someone to just like, you know, quit your job and go live on the street or go live in the woods and not have any income. I would never tell someone that. You know what I'm saying? Set yourself up for success. You know what I mean? I've been out here for a minute. Probably like it's been like probably like 4 months now. Yeah, I've been in Vegas for like 4 months now. Just came from Atlanta. I was in Atlanta for like 6 months. Why do you say you are me and I am you? And how can everyone be good? And yeah, I don't say that. That goddess _00, I don't say that. Like I said, that was the teachings of that tribe and that movement of people. And like I said, I'm Nuwapi and I'm Sabian, so I'm not that. You know, I'm not that. I know that's where y'all know me from. So like when people see my face, they automatically think, you know, that tribe, or they think that I'm a part of that organization, that group. But I'm not a part of the organization of that group. I left a while ago, a long time ago, and I'm a Nuwapian, I'm a Sabian. So that's, you know, we have a different doctrine, different understanding, different teachings, you know. So it's a little bit different, you know. Definitely different. So we don't operate underneath that kind of mind frame. Peace, y'all. Peace. So yeah, man. So that's what I recommend. The living God. So get yourself situated, man. I did, man. I had to get myself situated. You know what I'm saying? Things are on the up, looking better. So you know, but it is what it is, man. I have love for everybody. If anyone has any more questions, y'all can put the questions in the chat. Miss Adama 21, what's up? What's good? So yeah, man. So I just wanted to leave y'all with that jewel. I will save this video. I don't know if anyone has any more knowledge. Knowledge or any more questions they want to ask. Y'all can ask questions if y'all have any questions y'all want to ask. If you guys don't have any more questions, I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna cut it short. I'm about to go back to the crib. About to handle my business. But I just thought I would do this video for y'all as I was out and about doing my little eating session at Chipotle today. So yeah, man. So alright, seems like everyone's good. Alright, I'm out. Wadu. Peace to everybody. I'm out of here. Love y'all. Wadu.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video as well as my commentary. Please be sure to drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Guys, I want to give a warm welcome to all of my new subscribers. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the channel. To all of my OGs, my day ones, my ride or dies, y'all already know what it is. Big up yourself. We in the building with it.